There's a pound of walleye fillets chopped into little pieces here. Just over half a cup of milk, because I didn't want to waste it. And a pretty good pinch of salt. Just for a little bit. I don't want to cook this all the way through. We're going to make British fish cakes using walleye. These are ordinarily done with haddock or codfish. This is what I have and this is what I want. So the color's getting good. It's not quite simmering. Once it starts to simmer, I'm just going to leave it on for 1 or 2 minutes. Probably closer to 1 minute. You want to be able to break that up with a spoon, but not have it falling apart. It's not quite breaking up yet. Medium heat, literally for 1 minute after it started simmering, and it'll come apart with a little effort there with a spoon, but it's not falling apart by itself. I'm going to put the lid on, let it sit in its own heat there for 5 minutes. It'll be perfectly cooked. This fish has been sitting in its own heat there off of the fire for 5 minutes since I finished with the simmering, and I think it's absolutely perfect. It's not falling apart at all. We're going to make these cakes and they're going to get cooked. So that's when we'll finish cooking them. So this looks really good. When it's done draining, I'm going to put it on a plate, stick it in the fridge for a little while to cool off. I have 2 of these russet potatoes. I'm using my fillet knife of all things because I'm too lazy to reach over and grab a different knife. Cut in long 4s. And these sizes are just pretty random, really just to facilitate boiling these potatoes. These are russet potatoes, real British fish cakes. Use a different kind of potato that's almost identical in texture and flavor. This is 1 pound and 1/10 of an ounce. This is more potatoes than we need. So I'm going to take some out here and get it down to about, there's 14 ounces. I'll just cook those other ones and give them to the dogs. Going to boil our potatoes with a generous amount of salt. When they start getting just soft enough, we're going to stop this. So I'm going to keep a close eye on these. Undercooked is much worse than overcooked, but we're not going to do either of those things here today. So we mashed our potatoes. We put a pinch of cayenne pepper, a tablespoon of Italian parsley, a tablespoon of tarragon, some fresh chives, and 1 teaspoon of lemon zest. And we're going to mix this up real good before we add our fish. Boy, this looks good if you could only smell it. This is our super mega tartar sauce. We added onions to the store-bought stuff, some cayenne, a little shake of that, tarragon and parsley. We added everything to it. And there's also a tablespoon of capers in there. Did I say tablespoon? A teaspoon of capers, chopped very finely. And this tastes so good. I could just eat it by itself. This is my fish here. It's been sitting in the refrigerator. It's cooled down nicely. A nice texture to it. And I'm going to flake it a little bit, but not too much. When I start mixing it in with the potatoes, it's going to break up some more. So we don't want to overly do that, but you can look at what you got in there, and you can see there are no more big chunks left. And that's all the flaking it needs. And if you do it with your hands, that's better, because that way you can lick your hands afterwards and it tastes really good. All right, I'm going to mix this up and we're going to make patties with it. I was going to go fishing today, but it's really hot outside. and I've lost any motivation to do that. So I can always do this in a pinch. Cook up something good. British fish patties made with American walleye. So you know it's going to be bitter. That looks good there. You know, I missed a step. I am supposed to put in a really good dollop of this stuff. That's enough right there. Oh, you gotta watch yourself. You will make mistakes. That's why we have recipes. I don't have a cookbook open because I got this off of the internet. So that just means I gotta be ever so much more careful. I'm going to divide this up into 4 portions, and I'm going to make some nice, big, thick fish patties. I could probably make 6 smaller ones. So there's our 4 patties. And we're going to dust them a little bit with some flour. It's a little bit overkill there, but it doesn't matter. It's going to come off. These are big ones. We're going to slather these with egg, and then we're going to coat them with panko, which is a kind of, I think, Japanese breadcrumbs. This has been a bit of a process, but I believe it will be well worth it. And I'm going to dip these in there. One at a time. These are the panko breadcrumbs. I'm going to get them all over there really. I'll take that guy right there and put him on a clean plate. And panko the other side. We're just about ready to go here. When this gets to 350 degrees, we're going to fry these guys in there. It can be done in a deep fryer. This is just vegetable oil, canola oil. I'm going to wait till it gets just over 350. As soon as you drop food into your oil, the temperature drops dramatically. That's why I'm only going to do one at a time. And we're approaching 350. And we're at 350. 355. 360 degrees. In goes a patty. Woo! You definitely want it to be hot enough to do that. So I'm guessing the temperature dropped dramatically with that. So as soon as I drop that in, it dropped down to 300 degrees and it's popping back up now. I'll turn that down a little bit. I'm going to say 3 minutes on each side. We'll see. It took about 1.5 minutes on the first side, but the oil was very hot. It has cooled down substantially now. This is beautiful. That's the kind of look I want right there. It's got a little crispy, you can hear it. Did you hear that? Oh yeah. That's a ticket. All right, all the cooking was about 2.5 minutes, including both sides. I'm gonna put another one in. Here we go. That's hot. That one looks good. Yeah. Pop, pop, fizz, fizz. These were so big they didn't fit on one plate. There's the last one. I think the temperature is perfect now. This will be dinner. These fish potato patties made with walleye, British style, some whole tomatoes, some leftover noodles there. And each of us gets a slice of lemon. And this is that amazing tartar sauce. We took store-bought tartar sauce and we embellished it by adding all kinds of really good stuff to it, real food. I wonder if this is going to taste good. Oh, look at the way that flakes off of there. Oh boy, that is so satisfying. Potatoes and fish. Wish you were here.